Salut, and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty of this. I'm going to talk about Canada. That's right, I'm going to talk about Canada. I'm going to talk about Canada. I'm going to talk about what those people are all about. Yeah. I made some videos about that country and the people of that country. And I've been getting a lot of comments, strange comments. You know, all these comments that I'm getting from them are, over exaggerated, bullshit, lies. I'm gonna talk about Canadians who lie. I've been hearing a lot of crap from some of the people up there in that country. A lot of shit. Lots of it. And I hear stuff like, Canadian healthcare isn't free. And on some of my videos, some people tell me this. Get to the point. Nobody doesn't want to see your stupid little car. And New Manchester, indigenous Canadians, First Nation people have their own health care. And my name is Vigilant Gopher. It's funny. I know something about these people who go around, these people, like, I ain't saying that all Canadians lie, but there's some who over-exaggerate about their country by saying a lot of lies to, people in America, because, they know that people in the United States are stupid. And they are. You got some Canadians who listen to what stupid, ignorant people from the States say about their country. And they go and, just bash them or, just say something polite to them and tell them that they're idiots and they're wrong. But in this video, I want to talk about Canadians who go around and spread lies about their country. Okay, this is a good one. I heard someone, someone from Canada sent me a comment on a video that I commented on about the difference between the United States and Canada, a comparison. And someone told me that Canada has not Canada, but see that indigenous people who live in Canada have their own healthcare system. And I've been watching the CBC, and I've been watching a guy named David Dole of the Rational National on YouTube. And I subscribe to him, and I've been watching his videos. He's an independent news outlet person. He worked for a television station somewhere in Toronto. And in one of his videos, he never talked about indigenous people having their own healthcare system. That turned out to be a lie, but I heard that indigenous children who attended some school in British Columbia were treated like animals. They were beaten to death. The teachers there made them eat their own vomit. Ugh. And and unmarked graves of these dead children were found near this school somewhere in British Columbia that's designed to beat the Indian out of these children, which I heard it was disgusting. It made me sick to my stomach. It kind of pissed me off. And some indigenous person, I comment on a video about that. Some indigenous person said something fucked up to me. Telling me, I don't remember what it is, but it was kind of messed up. Like bashing me like I'm saying something bad. I was just saying something positive. Like it makes no sense. It's kind of fucked up. Yeah, Canadians, some of the people in Canada, they over exaggerate and they lie. I'm talking about the ones that over exaggerate and lie. The Canadians who over exaggerate and lie about things. On their healthcare system, which is universal, they'll talk about, you get healthcare, but you're gonna be paying out of the ass for taxes. And if you're in Canada, come to any airport. You see that airports are crumbling, and Canada is a messed up country that'll give you a bad personality, and it will destroy your mental health. And we advise you not to move to our country. All this crazy shit. The healthcare, yeah, it's universal, but it works like this. Like any other healthcare system, any country that has universal healthcare, it's free to the point of service, and it comes out of your taxes. The taxes are raised so the system can function well. Yeah. Canada's healthcare system, it doesn't cover things like, dental, vision, hearing aids, mental health, pharmacare, stuff like that. And Jagmeet Singh in Parliament Hill talked about this. Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the NDP, he talked about this. And Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister, and his Liberals promised pharmacare, and they didn't. So I heard nothing about Indigenous people having their own healthcare system. So I assume it's a lie. Or any one of you who are from Canada who are viewing this video, you can leave a comment and explain to me why, if this is true or not, that Indigenous people have their own healthcare system. Because some Indigenous woman who's full of shit told me this in a comment. Yeah. I think, looking at that trucker convoy that morphed into the Freedom Convoy in Canada, that led to a huge occupation in Ottawa that crippled the capital, led to people who want the vaccine and the mask mandates to be dropped. And they just blocked all the streets, honking the horns in their trucks, pickup trucks, cars, semis, honking their horn constantly day and night, causing mischief and chaos, driving regular people who get up and go to work every day, driving them crazy, and driving people with a mental illness crazy. Yeah, I think those people who tell me lies about Canada, their home country, lying Canadians, are those people who are part of that freedom convoy that morphed from the trucker convoy. That's what I think. That's what I think. if I visit Canada, I'm not gonna believe the lies. Someone tells me a lie, some Canadian lies to me, I'm gonna go and do some research. And I know that you can't. I mean, it's funny if you try to talk to these people and call them out on their BS in the comments on videos on YouTube. They sit back and say nothing. They never comment. They say nothing. And this is funny. I heard I remember the premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, which is a conservative. Someone questioned him about like how things in the U.S. is, and he said that, well, here in Canada, we're not going to tolerate racism. If you say something racist to anybody, regardless of who you are, me, I'm going to come down on you like a ton of bricks. And I'm proud to be Canadian. And I'm glad that we here in Canada are nothing like our cousins south of the border, which is the U.S. I mean, he said that the United States, we're not going through all the systemic racism that the U.S. had went through over the years. We in Canada never went through the systemic racism through the years. And, there's racism in Canada. There is. I watched some videos of it. I watched a video of a black guy shopping at a Walmart in Sag Hill, Alberta. And there was this woman who was white, followed him around because she's targeting him because the store was hit hard by thieves. And she assumed that this guy was a thief, and he wasn't. The guy was a black guy with dreads, and that's what he stated on the video, that he was walking around this Walmart in Sag Hill on Alberta, looking for things to buy. And he said he want to shop some more, like go and look around. And in the video, he said, "Let me shop," he told a woman who was following him around. And a woman said something, and he told the woman to shut up. And finally, the other employees at the Walmart stopped the woman. And also in British Columbia, some white guy in a pickup truck got out of his truck and said this: "Are you from Canada? You're not from Canada. How did you get here? You're not from one of us." And he spit in the camera lens of this guy's camera. This guy was from India, wherever country that he's from. And after the guy who spit on the lens on this camera, he got back in his truck and said this: "White power." And he was like walking around like one of the bushwhackers wrestlers from the WWE. And also I watch a special news segment on the CBC called CBC Marketplace, and it showed that a black guy and a white guy doing an experiment to see how racist Canada is. So these people went to different places all over Canada. I think Toronto, Regina, Victoria, Moose Jaw, other cities, and there was some racism there. Like the black guy was targeted, I think, in Victoria and some other cities. So white guys, they weren't targeted, and I think someone came up to some black guy who was part of the group with the white guys that were part of the experiment, and told him that, "Oh, you shouldn't date indigenous people." And also, this other part I saw this series, it was bad. It was really bad. There was this woman who did an experiment. She stood on the streets of Toronto, and she had a bucket next to her feet. She was standing on the street, and she wanted she wanted people to put money in this bucket to support people from like Muslim people from other countries, and the racism was ugly. One guy came up to her and said this, "Why should I give you money? So you can blow me up?" Then more people came, they just ignored the woman. It was all help support Muslim people, and some of the people ignored the woman and walked by, and this was ugly. Some white guy come walking up, and he said this to his lady who was standing on the street with a bucket of money next to her, and he said this to her: "You think I'm gonna give you money? Not a fucking chance." And walked out. And I saw that and said, "Oh my God, that's bad." Yeah, so there's racism in Canada. And and this is telling of the racism. You got people who acknowledge racism, so they go and gaslight each other in that country. They gaslight each other, act like racism doesn't exist, and it does. And case in point, this happened in the Canadian Parliament Hill in Ottawa. The leader of the NDP, Jagmeet Singh, called out racism in the Canadian Parliament, and he called it out over some MP from Quebec who was saying something racist, and Jagmeet Singh called it out, and I think in the Parliament, I think the Speaker or anybody in the Parliament told Jagmeet Singh to apologize to the racist MP, and Jagmeet Singh wouldn't do it, so he was booted out of Parliament. He was booted out of Parliament. That's messed up. I mean, I think I said this in a previous video. I think the racist MP from Quebec, that French-speaking Francophone province, Quebec, I think that MP from Quebec was the one who should be apologizing to Jagmeet Singh. Because he said because the racist MP from Quebec said something racist in the Parliament, the Canadian Parliament. And Jagmeet Singh called it out. And Jagmeet Singh did the right thing. But he's viewed as the bad guy and was booted out of Parliament. So, yeah. So, racism exists up there in Canada. I got a friend who's from Canada who stated that, racism in Canada is not as bad as racism here in the U.S. And racism here in the U.S. is really, really ugly. So, yeah. Well, it looks like I'm all over the place in this video. But, yeah, going back to Canadians who lie about their country. Yeah, the ones that lie and gaslight who lie about their country to Americans. I don't know if they do that. I don't know if they lie to other people in other countries, just to Americans, because they know people in the U.S., people in the United States are fucking stupid. I ain't saying that all Americans are stupid, but just those people who are very ignorant of Canada. Yeah. Those people. I don't think they lie to people in the UK and Australia and other countries. Or war-torn Ukraine, Russia and others. They just lie to Americans. And I was the victim of being lied to by some indigenous bitch who's full of shit about indigenous people having their own healthcare system in Canada. Yeah. I know one thing, speaking of healthcare, those people have to worry about going bankrupt over medical bills and die waiting to get care and being uninsured and underinsured and don't have to worry about their health care being tied to their employer. And when they quit their job or by getting fired if they get fired from their job or they decide to quit their job, excuse me, their health care don't go poof and go away from them. Their health care will stick to them like glue. So yeah, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about in this video, but I wish Canadians who tell the truth about their country will go after these Canadians who say a lot of lies about their country. And don't just go after Americans. Just go after Canadians who lie and gaslight. Yeah, go after anybody from any country and people in your own country, not just people who live south of the border from you. So yeah, I think those Canadians who spread lies and gaslight about Canada are those same people who are part of that ridiculous three-ring circus comical crap show known as the Freedom Convoy. Let's see. Crumbling airports. The United States has that. Real estate and housing is expensive. The U.S. has that. Inflation and high gas prices. The U.S. has that. And I remember someone, going back to the healthcare in Canada, someone tells me that, children are born with mental retardation and they die and something like that. And they're just basically saying something that happens in the healthcare system here in the U.S. where I live. Yeah. Canada has crumbling infrastructure, crumbling roads, and indigenous people have unclean drinking water, and that's true. Indigenous people do have unclean drinking water because they live on reservations. Same thing here in the U.S. Native Americans here in the U.S. live on reservations, and they live in like a third world country style reservations. They have like unclean drinking water, and they eat unhealthy foods. Indian reservations here in the U.S. are really, really bad, and they are. Yeah, Indians, Native Americans on reservations here in the United States, they go through things like commit suicide. They become alcoholics by drinking. So that's one of the bad things of Indian reservations here in the U.S. And someone from Canada told me that Canadians have, not Canadians, but indigenous people have unclean drinking water. Same thing here. Here in America, like, people have unclean drinking water. People in Flint, Michigan have lead in their water, which they drink. If they drink, or bathe in, will give them Legionnaire disease. And all kinds of stuff, it's like those Canadians who bitch and moan and complain and lie about their country. I guess they think Americans are stupid. I agree with them. Some Americans are dumb, some of them aren't. But here in the U.S., Americans don't have time to watch what goes on in other countries on the news or online because they work too much. The U.S. is a workaholic nation. School, work, school, work, school, work, school, work. Rush, get into school, get into work, get into school, get into work. School, work, school, work, school, work. Yeah. And people from Canada and other countries just don't see that. They expect Americans to know what goes on in other countries. They don't care. And other countries need to understand how people are here in the U.S. Some of them said it. They don't understand. We don't understand Americans, and Americans don't understand us. So yeah, I don't understand Canadians. Just the ones that lie, not the ones that tell the truth. And yeah, going back to like Canada in general, a woman in that new segment on the CBC stopped a racist white man from berating and attacking a woman because of her race. And a couple, a man and a woman, came up and stopped him. The woman spoke up and said, "Stop it. Enough of this. If you continue on, I'm calling the police." So, there's some good people in Canada. People who have a brain, people who know the truth about their country and tell the truth. Unlike the ones that lie. The ones like J.J. McCollin and other people. And I don't care about people like Canadians like DDD, Daily Driven Exotics, and Rude Canadians. If you go and ask them a question like, "So what brings you to this part of the country?" And they'll say this. They'll say stuff like, "If that's none of your business," and "Why do you care? Don't worry about it. That's none of your business." I'm like, fuck you. Like, I don't give a shit about you anyway. Fuck them antisocial, ice cold, frozen, passive aggressive MFs up there. Yeah. I don't know. I'm going through a lot of crap here in America. Should I adopt the passive aggressiveness? Should I adopt the passive aggressiveness from passive aggressive Canadians? Will that help me greatly here in the U.S.? Post your comments. So, that's all I gotta say in this video. Au revoir. Canada sucks. Bye.